At Frankfurt Airport, a team of mechanics have less than 48 hours to remove an A380's jet engine and install a new one. It's an enormous job that demands an enormous workspace.
Hangar needs a lot of height over here because the aircraft is just really enormous.
This is Hangar 7, designed specifically to house the world's largest passenger plane, the double-deck A380. It's like your car workshop, but on steroids. Spanning 800,000 square feet and 150 feet high, it's larger than the Empire State Building. Big enough to house 2 of these super jumbos. 10 hours in, and the team are ready to remove the old engine. They gently lower it by hand onto a cradle.
Okay, stop. Once it sits on the cradle, loosen the chains. That's it. The engine is removed. First part is done.
The old engine must be packed up and returned to the factory for a complete overhaul.
Langsam.
To limit the airliner's time on the ground, the team replaces the engine with one prepared earlier.
The engine behind me is the new engine. This is a totally overhauled engine, and now the task for us is to get that engine ready to be installed underneath the wing.
That might sound simple, but it takes surgical precision to lift the new engine into place.
The problem with the hoisting is that the engine has to come up pretty straight because we have about 2 centimeters of space at the front casing before it hits the engine mount. We have to come up really slow. If you use too much force with it, you will get damage to the engine.
22 hours in. After 110 man-hours, the team have bolted the new engine to the wing, connected the fuel pipes, and now prepare to put the hard work to the ultimate test. Andreas and Cliff will run the new engine up to near maximum thrust to make sure it's ready to be put back into service in the morning. Will the engine generate the power needed for liftoff? Will the bolts hold?
Bolts hold? I think there's a possibility. The bolts hold?
Okay.
When I start time for
Fire up, come on.
The plane is wheeled out to a test center and placed in metal chocks to prevent it from powering down the runway.
Drama.
With everything locked in place, they cautiously fire up the engine. The hollow fan blades start to rotate to 2,900 RPM, pulling in 130,000 gallons of air a second. That compressed air mixes with fuel and explodes in the combustion chamber, the heart of the engine. The explosive force spins 70 turbine blades faster than the speed of sound. In the calm of the cockpit, Cliff monitors the rotation speed, vibration, and temperature. One loose bolt, and the entire engine could shear off. So far, so good. Time to push the throttle to full power. A ton of air a second blasts out the back of the engine at 1,000 miles an hour. 70,000 pounds of thrust. The engine is running perfectly. Cliff and Andreas can breathe easily.
Switch off on after last engine shutdown, engine stop time record.
It's a success.
All the parameters are where they should be. We have no leaks, no disturbing, so this aircraft can go back into service.
After 30 hours on the ground, this A380 is ready to rejoin the 700 planes that pass through the airport every day.
700.
But before the plane can take to the skies, it must stock up with food, water, and of course, lots and lots of fuel.